Mhm.
Hi there, my name is Louise Brace from Management 3.0 and Happy Melly, and welcome to the fourth episode of our Management 3.0 case stories. And today I have the pleasure of welcoming Johan Nyberg from KnowIt in Sweden to our chat. So welcome, Johan. Nice
Thank
to
you very
speak to
much.
you today.
Thank
How
you.
are you today?
I'm very fine today.
Good, good. So Johan and his team have been using the practice of Work Expo to kind of visualize team and company goals. So tell me about that experience, Johan. Why did your team in the first place feel that they needed to visualize company goals and projects?
So, as we are, you could call us, the company is basically a management consulting team focusing on helping companies transform from old-fashioned ways of managing uh, development organizations to a modern one based on agile principles and lean principles and so on. And we had a kind of a special situation that we needed some tools to manage. And it was that we felt that we needed to narrow and to connect all the people in the company to the overwhelming vision and the purpose of our company. And that purpose will be helping other companies into the new world of the new management paradigm, basically. And when you come to that conclusion, we must narrow our offerings. We must come to some kind of understanding of what we are and what's our actual purpose. Then you need to do some things to activate the people's mind and their brains and their hearts into where we are going. So when we thought about how we should do this, then we were discussing different ways of doing it. But the thing that we really felt most natural and it was kind of tempting and interesting to do is to kind of live as we learn, because we are doing a lot with Management 3.0, and what we were focusing now was to find something in Management 3.0 that could help us. And we found the Work Expo, and what we did was working with that thing or that kind of workshop. We took all the staff and told them that okay, we have a history. We want to go somewhere. Let's illustrate that. And we brought in, lots of old magazines and stuff.
Did everybody take part? The whole team, the whole company took part?
Yeah, definitely.
Uh-huh.
About 20 people in one room, and you had the old magazines. It was like international magazines, the glossy ones. Um, there were some kind of brochures from old travels that we have done, and yeah, several other things that you could actually work with.
Mhm. And so how did you start to collate them all together? How did you display your Work Expo, and where did you display it?
Yeah, we went to IKEA, and we bought some, frames where you can put pictures and stuff. So we had prepared all the things that you actually needed, and then people started working, and we made all the kind of pictures and yeah, the beautiful things that you could put on the wall or set on a desk.
It must have been a fun project for your team, no? What reaction did they have to kind of taking part in this type of project?
First of all, they were kind of surprised. This was a new way of working with purpose to many of them. But lots of funny stuff actually happened, and there's one episode that I have to tell you, and in some way this builds a part of us. because we always say that we should have a good laugh, and we should, I mean, if something happens and you should laugh together and not to anybody. And the funny thing was that just 1.5 year earlier we had a company conference, and everyone know that I love skiing. But they also know that I want to work actively with delegation. So I made a delegation to a group of people where I deliberately tried to narrow the scope so that I would go skiing. But as they knew this, they wanted to make a joke with me. And instead of ending up in the Alps, going for a conference, working together and skiing, we ended up in the flatlands near Bologna. And it was according to my delegation. So it was perfect according to my delegation. But I mean, I told them that the frame was that we should do things together all the time during the conference. So instead of skiing, they arranged with an Italian chef, and we did cooking together with that chef. So we did lots of things together all the time, but there were no skiing and there were flatlands.
that sounds more like my idea of a team collaboration, cooking rather than skiing. Skiing is a bit kind of what's the word? It's a bit kind of a one-person sport. So cooking, you kind of get to collaborate a little bit more, no?
So anyway, this was one very popular part of the Work Expo exhibition, so to say. That there was this, I think it was like 60 times 100 centimeters thing on the wall, where there were illustrations of me thinking I was going to go skiing, and the fact is that I was doing spaghetti.
Excellent. So, I mean,
that kind of builds the idea of a company where we have fun together and where they could actually make a joke that I'm the CEO of the company, a joke that was on my account, so to say, but and we have a good laugh together about it.
That's excellent. I really love that story. Do you still have your Work Expo around the office?
No, we haven't, because it feels like this was a thing that we used to focus the company on where do we come from and where do we want to go now. And as we got more and more clearer direction, so to say, so now we are having these kind of discussions about goals and where we are going frequently, and we are working more with OKRs now.
That's amazing. So it really served its purpose, and it served its purpose in a fun way of kind of bringing the team together. That's a brilliant story. Well, that's excellent, Johan. I mean, just one last thing. Do you think that there's anything that could have been improved during the process of using Work Expo? Is there anything, if you were going to do it again, you would do differently, or?
Yes, what I've seen other people do is working with kind of a yearly or quarterly exhibitions, and they often do it with other kind of tools than we did. So I think, for example, the guys working with Lego, that's a brilliant idea, and you could actually go to IKEA and not buy the stuff that we bought, but you could buy kind of the furniture you need to make an exhibition that is gradually growing from year to year. So if I would do this thing again, I would have probably more thinking about the plan forward, not just doing it for now. It served its purpose with us, but I think we could have done more with it if we would have had kind of a plan that this would be some reoccurring happening that we were doing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's good advice. So thank you so much, Johan. And just one other thing before we finish. Our team today is celebrating the International Day of Happiness, as I'm sure millions of people are around the world. So Johan, apart from skiing, what else makes you happy?
So, in Sweden we have something called fika. And one of the guys in the company, just before I went to this interview with you, he said, "Will you stay for a couple of minutes more? Then I will go and buy some good sweet bread, and we could have a nice fika together." And that will actually make me happy.
Did you have it, or you said no because I have to speak to Louise Brace from Management 3.0? So
I just told them that
I'm not allowed.
This discussion and go to the end of it.
Well, go be happy. Thank you, Johan, so much for speaking us today. That's Johan Nyberg from KnowIt in Sweden. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.